Babe-san, I'm sorry for cheating on you for 5 years. My XP was too low, and I didn't know any better. I'm only 34. No kidding, your XP was low. You actually texted that to somebody. When I first heard the internet calling Sykkuno a predator, I expected an FBI report to drop. After digging into the sources, I realized this isn't a simple scandal. It is a private mess blown entirely out of proportion by the public. Hey, I'm the globalcherry, and today we are looking at the reality behind the 32-page Google Doc, the response from Sykkuno, and why almost everyone was in the wrong. Let's get into it. For those who don't know, Sykkuno is a streamer famous for his soft-spoken persona. He built a brand around being a shy, innocent anime boy. While many streamers use personas, it is strange to see a 34-year-old man lean so heavily into this act. The internet loved it because people wanted to protect this inexperienced adult man who supposedly never talked to women.
Wait, you're actually so much braver than I thought.
Only because you're here.
Yeah, back up!
This situation exploded when a VTuber named HemomalVT released a document exposing Sykkuno as a serial cheater and manipulator. Despite a 15-year age gap, their relationship moved incredibly fast. They went from playing games to making plans to hints at moving in together. He reportedly sent unprompted money for games and clothes to maintain her interest. Mal sent suggestive photos under the impression he was single because his chats suggested he had broken up with his girlfriend. Mal eventually discovered he had been living with his girlfriend of 5 years the entire time. Other creators like Elfilea and Leia shared similar stories. Sykkuno reportedly funded a trip to Paris for Elfilea while claiming he was too busy with games to meet women. I guess he does play games, he just failed to mention they were mind games. Then we have the account from Leia. Sykkuno allegedly offered her a hotel room during EVO Las Vegas. She took the offer and they watched a movie together. According to her, he made a move during the film. She gave him oral 30 minutes in, and the next day they had sex. It was only after this that she asked if he was single. He lied and said his last relationship was 3 years ago. While Leia trusted Sykkuno enough to share that room, the situation highlights a significant gray area of communication. They had 2 sexual encounters before she questioned his relationship status. Though Leia clarified she was not assaulted, she admitted she didn't have the strength to tell him to stop in the moment. This creates a difficult disconnect. Her internal discomfort wasn't signaled externally. This likely led Sykkuno to assume the encounters were consensual. Ultimately, this is a collision of poor boundaries and intentional deception. Sykkuno might have seen the lack of no as a green light, but he's the one who painted it green. He didn't have to lie, he just let his innocent friend persona do the heavy lifting. She thought she was safe with a shy friend. He knew he was hiding a 5-year relationship and lied about it afterwards. When consent, indirectly or not, is based on a version of someone that doesn't exist, it's not informed, it's a trap. It's a messy failure of judgment on her end, and a cynical failure of character on his. IC Lynn's document specifies that he reached out to her when she was 17, and he was 28. She clarified that 5 years later, he initiated their romantic connection, after reassuring her he was single. Other creators like Nami Kitsunami shared similar patterns of him offering to pay for rent and Steam games and making advances towards her, which she shut down. His ex-girlfriend Leia even stated she tried to warn people years ago, but faced harassment for it. Kaisai also said Sykkuno reached out to her, but went radio silent after finding out she was in a relationship. It appears he used his persona to create a false sense of security. He allegedly pursued numerous women online to start his own harem. It is important to realize that when someone curates a harmless persona for years, they aren't just building a brand. They are building a safe space trap that can make even the most cautious person ignore their own red flags. Bro, this isn't the 100 girlfriends who really love you. Bao eventually revealed that Sykkuno's girlfriend was planning to move out and leave until late March. She stayed because Sykkuno showed her evidence that made her doubt her decision. When Mal showed Bao DMs sent 30 minutes before their call, Bao advised the girlfriend to check the receipts for herself. Was Sykkuno a social predator in a criminal sense? No. Was he deceitful? Absolutely. I don't care if the internet tries to normalize cheating. In my book, if you manipulate people like this, you are selfish and show a lack of respect for those around you. However, if he used his fame to create a false sense of security just to get women into bed, many would consider that predatory. We can acknowledge that his behavior was predatory in its pattern through his interactions with smaller content creators, without necessarily labeling him as a criminal. Words have weight. When we misuse them, we make it harder for more victims of actual crimes to be heard. But seriously, if he built the trap, they still walked through it. But it is hard to blame someone for walking into a room when the person at the door has spent years convincing the world he means well. It is like someone inviting you into a house and convincing you to leave your own keys at the door because you felt safe. By the time you're compromised, you're wondering why your instincts didn't go off sooner. I know he has a convincing ooh persona, but people like that are very good at telling you exactly what you want to hear, so we need to be more skeptical. Sykkuno reportedly kept things off record in voice calls to hide his actions, but things slipped when Mal recorded the call. The recordings suggest he was unhappy but lacked the courage to end his relationship. It seems both he and his girlfriend are people who need help. Mal agreed to stay friends at first, but then the document dropped. Despite the evidence of cheating, public sympathy began to wane. The term predator was used loosely, and that one word can ruin a life. Another reason was Mal's decision to stay friends with him, which confused viewers. Why maintain contact with someone who clearly did not value you? Furthermore, Mal opening a Patreon right as the drama peaked led many to believe she was clout farming. When a case is presented this poorly, along with promoting yourself at the same time, it does more than just confuse the narrative. It actively sabotages it. Misusing extreme labels doesn't just hurt the person being called out. It dilutes the struggle for victims of actual crimes and gives critics an easy excuse to dismiss legitimate warnings as mere drama. By leaking a recording that included private details the girlfriend never consented to sharing, Mal didn't just target Sykkuno, she created collateral damage. It's hard to claim you're protecting the community when you're violating the privacy of the person who was already hurt the most. To make matters worse, a frame in Mujin's video was left unblurred, which leaked the girlfriend's private group chat information. The damage was done despite his apology. On April 16th, Sykkuno released a joint statement with his girlfriend. He fully owned the infidelity but used the opportunity to push back against extreme labels he felt were being used to ruin his life. It's that clash between a sincere apology for cheating and a defensive stance against the predator label that has everyone divided. The girlfriend expressed deep hurt that her private pain was used for content. Certain accusers indirectly doxed her and potentially profited from it. Ironically, the accusers would have a much stronger case if they had consulted her first. The girlfriend decided to stay with Sykkuno and try to repair the relationship. Choosing to stay and repair a relationship after it's been broken is an incredibly difficult path. It is heart-wrenching to see her face so much public scrutiny for such a personal decision, even if people disagree with it. While many, including myself, see cheating as an absolute deal breaker, every relationship has its own layers. Only those inside it truly know why they choose to fight for it. It's never easy to walk away from a life built together. I sincerely hope they both find the support needed to reach a healthier place. At the same time, I hope the other women involved are able to find their own sense of worth and healing. Everyone deserves to feel valued and at peace. Looking at this objectively, nobody came out of this looking good. Sykkuno is at fault for the deception. Even his inner circle had no idea he was in a 5-year relationship. When your own friends don't know who you are, it is hard to blame the internet for feeling confused. You can be friends with someone without approving of their actions, by the way. But frankly, this is a normal behavior for a 34-year-old. I don't think it was wrong to warn others about Sykkuno. Without this exposure, he likely would have continued this pattern with more smaller creators. I will always encourage communities giving each other a heads up. However, the accusers were wrong to use extreme labels and violate a third party's privacy for clicks. Mal later clarified she wasn't using the word predator in a criminal sense, but in the court of public opinion, the use of such extreme labels made the actual truth much harder to hear. I want to end this on a personal note for the younger creators watching. I am not saying this to shift blame. I want you to be safer than the people in this story were. Please remember to keep your guard up even with people you only know through a screen. You might watch someone every day and feel like you know their heart, but in reality, you are still strangers. Don't let a parasocial bond trick you into skipping the safety steps you would take in the real world. Your privacy is a gift. Protect it. Sending explicit photos to someone you haven't met in person puts a level of trust in their hands that isn't always respected. If you ever feel unsafe or manipulated, please reach out to your real-life support system immediately. Talk to your family or your friends. You don't need to wait until you have 32 pages of evidence to justify seeking help. The truth is, these massive expose documents can be a double-edged sword. They often trigger allegations that drown out the actual truth, Because there are people who actually misused Google Docs to defame people they hate. At the end of the day, please love yourself enough to walk away from anyone who doesn't value you. You deserve so much better than being played by an internet e-boy who is permanently stuck in English dub. Babe-son. As you grow your own audience, aim to be the safe space for them that was missing here. If you enjoyed the discussion today, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.